Rise and shine, roommates. It's your girl, Lasacia Turner. And if you remember, 2 days ago, I was here with Noah Steverson, and he was my first generational podcast host. Now we're back again with another one. This guy is my cinematic podcast co-host. His name is Murphy. He spoke on Jaws, and now he's here to speak on every other movie that we enjoy, that we like to analyze and speak about and see how they connect to our lives and to you guys. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well, It's a little late tonight, but
late night.
Yeah.
Are you excited to be number 2 generational podcast host?
Hey, I'm excited to be coming back too. And if people prefer their shows, especially we talk about topics that I like, and it's just such a great atmosphere too. So it's easy to open up.
So do you want to introduce what we're talking about today?
Okay, definitely. So we're talking about another classic movie. I believe it's also from the 70s. It's called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And a great interesting thing to know about this before we get into the movie is a little history about the story itself. It was originally a book by King Keenly. And the important thing to know about him and right here is just he actually was one of the first 10 people experimented on by the government for LSD and all that type of stuff. Also leading on to other people like Charles Manson and Jack Kerouac and all those types. It's a very crazy history. So this story, this book that was later adapted into a movie starring like Jack Nicholson and Danny DeVito, really has a lot to play with American history. So honestly, it's very easily tied to some modern day politics.
If you are familiar with the movie, it is just about, for my understanding, from my description, only from what I watched, I believe it's about a guy named Murphy who doesn't really want to go to jail, and he thinks it's the best option to go to a mental institution. Through his time, he understands that people do go through certain type of changes.
Yeah, that's a very good summary of the story. And honestly, it does kind of capture the main idea, and especially that main look when you first see it. But a little deeper, and especially with some of the info I think I told you about before, I feel like it shows the infrastructure of power and how when somebody has too much control over somebody else, it might not always lead to the best option.
All right, I like that. I like that analysis because I viewed him as a hero, but when you say that, I do see where you get the controlling aspect from. And you had mentioned manipulation earlier in a different conversation. I understand where you get that from. But the hero aspect, I just selfishly caring. Like, he does things for himself, but at the end realizes that it helps the patients in the end, if you know what I mean, when it comes to like happiness, gratitude, and just living life under an enclosed institution.
Oh, yes. And the institution being kind of the other part of it. Himself, I feel like that, I actually had a conversation about a year ago about this, about, I feel like with a lot of places, it's like a garden. We're all flowers, and we all need the right type of nourishment and vitamins and also sunlight to kind of help us grow and spread and get bigger. And I feel like as individuals, we do all kind of have some of that sunlight. And somebody like Jack Nicholson's character, McMurphy, in it, he is, yes, a wild card. And honestly, we'll talk about later, possibly somebody who needs to be in that situation, also is a part of that sunlight that helps out people. He makes people feel better, even if it's going against the law a little bit. I think a good part to mention is halfway through the movie, he kind of does a little escape with all the other, I wouldn't say inmates, but
the main characters, basically.
Yeah, the main characters, the other people who are in the psych ward. They all escape in a bus. He picks up a hooker.
His girlfriend.
His girlfriend. Wait, was it his girlfriend?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. For all the kids, his girlfriend. And then they proceed to go down to the bay and they steal a boat. And they don't do nothing bad with the boat. They go out and they start fishing. He gives one of the guys his first chance at sailing the boat. The dude starts singing to himself when he's all by himself, Popeye the Sailor Man. You kind of, you get that feeling of happiness and joy coming out of them. Oh my God. There's a moment when one of them finally catches a fish,
yes,
and they're all getting excited, and it's like they're yelling at each other to help like steer the boat's tray, and like the other person's like helping the other guy pull the fish out of the water, and it's a lot of excitement and everything. And yeah, they broke out, and yeah, they stole that ship and everything. But for these people who sit every single day in a white room, looking at each other, maybe playing cards for cigarettes, for a second.
And remember, they basically have the same schedule every day.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Same schedule, talking to only the same people. They get a little taste of a normal life. That sunlight that Jack Nicholson was giving out was giving all these people a sense of normalcy, and that was a big thing. Right. With Yin Yang, there's the idea of like there is no evil, there is no good. It's night and day.
That's who he is, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. With him also doing this, not to ruin the movie, he gets one of the younger characters to do something that he considers a young person should do. Which is,
before we get to that.
That's a real cliffhanger, folks. No, this is the rest of the podcast, and at the end of it, we will find out.
I just wanted to make a connection about the scene that you were talking about when they were on the boat. And a lot of movies can have plenty of messages. You can make different connections. And just from that scene, I made a connection that life belongs to everybody. Just because you're in a mental institution, and a lot of us don't even understand that lifestyle except we see it through a movie. Like, it's not really seen to us through the news. But anyway, so looking at it through camera's view, as you would like to say, I got that message because I believe that just because you are in a certain type of mental state, you shouldn't be taking away life privileges, like,
Oh, yeah.
So that simple trip was like a privilege that they should have been had, like, So that's the message where I believe life belongs to everybody. Just because you're in a certain situation, your life shouldn't be dictated or organized or even scheduled.
They were looking at them as numbers, not as people.
Facts.
Like, I know...
Or not even projects at that when it comes to this movie.
Ooh. Yeah, that actually is a really good statement to make with that. Like, that kind of... That's for everybody, too, a little bit. You got to stay human sometimes. You have to remember that we're all human. So the young boy does what Jack Nicholson says, like, live a normalcy in life, and he hooks up with the girl, the girlfriend, hooker, whatever you want to say. And because of that, a very bad result happens. Yes, he is happy, the kid enjoyed it and everything, but then a simple reminder of, his mother, sorry, it's a little bit of a spoiler,
we're spoiling it all tonight.
Yeah, we're spoiling it. We're spoiling the whole movie. It's worse than Jaws.
Great movie, though.
It is a great movie. But the mention of his mother and what would his mother think sent him in a deep spiral very quickly. Like, for nothing, yes, all these people deserve a piece of normalcy, but a lot of them are there not because they're forced to, but because they feel that they want to.
I was just going to direct that question to you. Wow, okay.
Yeah, because honestly, a lot of them have something that they have to face, and there's an issue that's happening. They have a disease or an illness or something that needs to be checked up on. And of course, medicine's a practice. Like it's always getting better at it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And obviously, it's crazy to think that this is probably something that happened about 50 years ago now. I wonder how far we have advanced since then. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder how many people saw that movie and wanted to get into that field of medicine just because they feel that they can better it.
Not even the field of medicine. That line of work is just like something that's courageous to go into. Working with mental health people is something that you have to be strong-minded to do.
Any type, because there's different things. There's like brain damage, for example. Brain damage is serious. You can get people back to certain places, but they're never going to be the same after brain damage. And that's something that you have to face whenever you deal with somebody with brain damage.
Right. That's actually, as you know, something I go through now. Like, my father got in a car accident.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm grateful that he's alive, but yeah, that's something that is definitely hard to take in and to understand, especially when it happened. I don't want to say rapidly, but unexpectedly, let's put it like that. So, no, yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Oh, I was thinking about my mom. She had a stroke, and don't get me wrong, she really regained herself, but she's still a different person than who she was beforehand.
Yeah.
But like, we got lucky with our one. We got
Definitely,
lucky.
yeah.
It's just a small amount that you don't even notice. In one sentence, can you describe what you feel like you got out of the movie after you're done watching it? What you gained?
So I'm gonna just describe how I felt the first time I watched the movie because I felt like the second time was just an enlightenment of how I felt. The first time I watched the movie, what I learned in one sentence is everybody just needs to be understood. It's just, I guess this is how I am. I just believe if everybody got the time to just, and you can't sit down with each person, but in that type of, I guess, institution or situation, if just everybody got to sit down and understand everybody, or at least do something they wanted to do every once in a while, I guess life would be a little bit better for that individual. And that's what, I don't know, allows me to want to help out people or just be there for somebody, even if like you done me wrong 20 minutes ago. That this movie actually allowed me to be more understanding. How about you?
My first response, honestly, was don't let anybody take control of you.
Damn, you got some good stuff. I'm just so sentimental over here.
Because I just always think about that ending. But we're gonna ruin the ending, all right, guys? We're at the end of the podcast. We're gonna ruin the end of this movie. Yo, all right, yo, they
the
killed,
ending with loyalty and persistence. All
right, they killed Jack Nicholson. And they don't kill him. They give him a lobotomy. And if you know what a lobotomy is, it basically takes out the frontal cortex, like the frontal lobe. And yeah, so you can't feel anything. You can't think of anything. You don't have any emotions no more. You are a solid like crust of what you are. You are a vegetable, as they like to say. And they did that because the nurse said some shit, got somebody to kill themselves. And he got pissed off at the nurse and choked her. And he showed aggression. And because he was in the situation where he's an inmate for them, they were like, well, it's too far. We can't save him. He's dead.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody really...
And they didn't physically kill him. They mentally killed him.
Yeah. They took his existence out.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you can come back from a lobotomy. There's no way that they can reattach. I'm talking about... This was 50 years ago. There's no way in 2020 that you can reattach somebody's brain like that. Mm-hmm. Once a lobotomy happens, it's not reversible. So when they did that, they knew, okay, we only got to deal with a piece of bread now. That's it. And I feel like that's too much power. That's people always have that argument about God or like with Frankenstein, like. But in the reversal, it's two hands to the same body, creation and destruction. Yeah, we're part of people's demise sometimes, and we are part of people's creation. But something about stripping somebody from freedom is something that is
inhumane.
Yeah, that's torture. That's torture. And like we said, it's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest because, it's about freedom. The movie's about getting free. Right. Yeah. From your mind, because your mind can be just as much of an imprisonment as a structure. Like the important part about this movie too is that like half the people can leave if they wanted to, but they can't because of their own head.
Right.
If they are able to not think about it for a second some of these times and just live a little bit, it helps. But yes, they need help from the right people. But
they could be at their own homes for it in reality,
Yeah, depending on the person. There's some people that do need a caretaker, but
True.
But not to the extent of not to the extent of a lobotomy. Nobody deserves a lobotomy. Mm-mm. I don't think they perform them anymore, but I'm gonna look into that actually. Actually, you know what? I know you do your thing at the end of every episode where you're like, "Hey guys, take this out of the week."
No, I actually don't anymore.
Oh, you don't do that anymore? I told you I need to catch up.
I got a new format.
I'm sorry that I gotta catch up.
Damn,
I gotta catch up. I'm mustard right now. I gotta catch up.
I choose these people to be my co-hosts. no, good friends.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, as you guys once knew in the first season, at the end of every episode,
we're still in the first season.
Oh, at first season. You know what I meant? Okay, whatever.
Just go. Yeah. You're gonna challenge yourself and others.
It might be a good idea to see how the unspoken are taken care of, like mental patients, old folks, people that are in people in the hands of others. You know, we gotta remember that these people still exist, and we gotta take care of them. And make sure that not the wrong people are taking care of them, and they're not getting hurt.
Right.
Like, you hear about all these things that happen in daycares and prisons and all these different things where caretakers are not taking care of who they're supposed to be taking care of. They're hurting them. Hell, I mean, schools.
Yeah.
Everybody got that story about how a teacher did them wrong.
I never heard that story. I wish the teacher would.
Oh my God, that is
to me or my brother. I wish the teacher would. Sorry.
You didn't have no teachers beefing you when you were 12?
Yeah, like we argued, but they hands is a whole different story.
Actually, high school, no joke, there was multiple fights where the teachers got involved, and like it was like crazy. Yo, I remember one time this one girl literally just took a hook right, like she hit my English teacher in the face so fucking hard.
Damn, I wish I could do that to my school security.
Yo, ooh. Actually, I was fighting about my school security. He was cool. Shout out Coach Nick. He was the shit. I miss him. He was fun. He was also coaching. I'm not in
high school, and I'm still scared to say F. You know.
He's cool.
I'm trying to be a good example, so.
I don't get along with the history department anymore. They know that.
I ain't get along with no department.
The people that talk my grade about history voted for Trump, so I don't trust them. Yeah. I don't trust them. Yeah.
I never trusted history.
Exactly.
I can't.
Because they're literally spoon-feeding us the same shit every year.
Facts!
Yeah.
Every freaking year!
Oh my God! You could fall asleep and like 6th grade, wake up in senior year, and you could still give the right answers because you knew
and
the
still didn't give us off for Martin Luther King, so who cares? Who cares? Yeah.
The only
why did Malcolm X Gandhi? Why didn't they on holiday?
Yo, Gandhi, that is a good. Nobody ever talks about Gandhi in our history classes.
Is there a Gandhi movie we can watch and review?
Yo, I'm down to watch that Gandhi movie. Me too.
I don't know if a documentary got to be.
Did you see the Gandhi movie? Wait, have you ever seen the Gandhi movie?
No, I was waiting for that to go. He just doesn't hear it.
I'm a dude. We're one track mind.
No, I didn't see it though.
It's 3 hours long.
But I enjoy stuff. I like educational movies.
It's got a smoke break in the middle. No joke. There's a go to the lobby, and like in the middle of the movie, it's like 5 minutes. You can go take a little smoke. You come back and watch the rest of Gandhi.
Is it on Netflix or anything?
I got a DVD.
I don't have a DVD player.
I got a DVD player. I'm about Gandhi. My mom, when I was a kid, we weren't religious, so I didn't have. But no, I had Jesus. We had Jesus Christ Superstar. But yeah, Gandhi.
I tried not to laugh because you was like in your religious mind. But we had Gandhi.
My mom fucking loved Gandhi. She would talk about Gandhi all the time. Like,
wow, we have to do that definitely.
Yeah, that's for the next episode. I'm not gonna ruin that now. Okay.
That's crazy. Nice. All right. I think we had a great episode.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was. I enjoyed talking to you. You always come up with some great analysis and some great analogies and some great explanations as well.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
If you haven't watched another 1975 movie.
It's crazy as hell. I think Gandhi was from the 70s too. It might have been 80s. I'm not sure about that one.
Really?
Yeah.
But still, all these throwback movies. Hey, just to let you know, throwback movies are great. I used to think they were just whack, but I love them now.
You get into them.
Shout out to Brookdale.
Brookdale. Kevin Smith came from Brookdale. Oh, okay. Clerks. Yeah. All right. Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma.
I'll watch them.
Jay and Silent Bob.
No.
You know who Jay and Silent Bob is?
No. Do you?
Shit. Does he?
Do you?
Do you know Jay and Silent Bob is?
No.
Okay. You guys gotta look up Jay and Silent Bob. They're funny.
Yes, but so One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is out on Netflix. I think you guys should really watch it. It's I think you'll get some good reasons from it, and you'll get out some great messages like I did as well. And if you're not an old school person, Nurse Ratched, or other known as Ratched on Netflix, is basically a show based off of the movie. So if you don't want to watch the movie, the show is great as well. I absolutely love it. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. My girlfriend fucking loves it.
Yeah.
Talks about it almost every day.
Best.
She plays music from the show.
Really? I haven't tried that out, like, to anything, but I don't know. I always know the lyrics when it comes on, like the theme song. I never have the time to download it on my phone, though. But the show on Netflix, Ratchet, and the movie are great. Thank you so much for coming through.
No problem.
I appreciate you. People probably won't hear it, but I'm going to let them know now. I appreciate you for picking me up when I was down tonight.
Oh, you down there? I didn't know that. Yo, what happy I came. Yeah, you got a baby here too. You can play with a baby for a second. So happy as fuck.
I mean, so
Shit.
cute.
Somebody got pancakes. Everybody love. Nobody can get angry with pancakes in front of them.
I don't like pancakes.
Okay, never mind.
Waffles.
Waffles?
Waffles.
Yeah.
They're the
It's the
same
crunchy
fucking thing.
sense.
They're the same fucking thing.
The crunchy sense
It's
is
just
the
a different
difference.
shape.
Crispy.
It's
Until
a
next
different
time,
shape.
roommates.